How do you compare Thermite to Ash, Buck to IQ, Capital to Nomad? All of these operators couldn't be more different. So while we are talking about the top picks, the best attackers in Rainbow Six, we're going to be doing it a bit differently. Instead of just looking at the best operators for the attacking side, we're instead going to be talking about the best, most well-rounded attackers you can bring for pretty much every bomb site on every map, as well as the best lineup to bring for if you're 4 or 5 stacking. The operators that we're going to talk about can really work well together, and this lineup is a very universal set of ops that you can use to attack pretty much any bomb site and not be at a disadvantage. So let's dive into it. Before we get any deeper, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns after today's video, I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Twitch. Make sure you follow me over there to catch me next time I'm live. Links are in the description. What makes an operator the best in slot for the team? When you're attacking as a team, you need to bring a certain amount of gadgets and utility to deal with whatever the defenders have set up. This is everything from explosives like frag grenades and ash charges to deal with deployable shields and Maestro's evil eyes, to soft destruction like a Sledge or a Buck, and hard destruction like a Thermite or Hibana to open up those influential hatches and walls of the bomb site. The reason you need all these types of operators is because of the utility heavy meta that Siege is currently in. And if you're not sure what I mean by Siege's meta, the word meta stands for the most effective tactic available. And at the moment, for the last season or two, Siege is in a very utility driven time, where the attackers need to bring a lot of throwable utility in order to clear Jaeger's ADSs and Wamai's magnets, so that the attackers can deal with the castle barricades, the evil eye cameras, the deployable shields, whatever it is the defenders are bringing to counter the attackers. So to reel it back in, the attacking team needs to bring certain operators in order to be successful. In a normal competitive environment, teams will generally bring one primary hard breacher, one secondary hard breach or support, one soft breacher, and then 2 fragging or flex operators depending. Obviously there's a ton of different combinations of ops you can play that will get the job done, but when I mentioned what operators were the best in slot, it's this concept that I'm talking about. What operators are the best general purpose hard breachers, best soft breachers, and so on. So now we know what type of operators our team needs to bring, let's talk specifics. Who are the actual operators that are the best in slot, and why they are as good as they are? First up is our number 1 hard breacher, our best hard breacher in Siege at the moment. Now, if you followed my channel for any length of time, you'll know who this operator is, and I feel like my opinion of him might be slightly contentious, but I'm going to go with Ace for this spot, and I'll explain why. There's a few reasons why I think Ace is the best hard breacher at the moment. As I said before, more often than not, teams will run 2 hard breaching operators like a Thermite or Maverick and a Hibana. And this is because most bomb sites have 2 or more walls or hatches that the attackers will want to open. Obviously there are exceptions, but for most maps this is the case. But unless you're attacking a bomb site where a lot of vertical pressure is achieved through opening reinforced hatches, think the basement bomb sites on both Bank and Clubhouse, you'll generally only need to open 2 or 3 reinforced walls. And lucky for us, Ace has 3 Selma devices. This means that you can get away with only running the 1 hard breacher, freeing up that extra space on your team to play other operators. Not only does Ace have his 3 hard breaching gadgets though, he can also throw them safely from any distance, meaning that you don't require much map control in order to use his gadgets safely and effectively. Combine that with his smoke grenades as well, and that can free your team up from having to play a smoke operator if that's a piece of utility that you want to bring for your strats. To round out the support half of our team composition, if we're not running multiple hard breachers, there's really only one option, isn't there?
If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that a 6-inch blade never loses reception.
That's right, Team Rainbow's resident angry man, Thatcher. I think Thatcher is kind of a self-explanatory pick for this list, but let's still go over just why he's so strong. Thatcher really hasn't changed much over the years, yet because of the way he's designed, he's only grown stronger and more useful as time's gone on, and as a result his 3 EMPs are some of the strongest gadgets in the game, hence why we always see Thatcher bans in both ranked and competitive play. In the same way you don't need much map control to use Ace's Selma devices, you rarely need any map control to make use of Thatcher's EMPs, because you can simply throw them somewhat close to the gadgets you're trying to disable, and the fairly big AoE on the EMP will destroy whatever is inside of that range. This is why on a map like Cafe, you might see Thatcher throwing his EMPs on the roof of the building if he's working with an IQ. This is because the range of the gadget extends down into the top floor of the map, destroying whatever is below, so Thatcher can safely remove the defender's utility without ever having to even step foot into the building. So that covers our 2 hard breaching operators. Let's now talk about the soft breachers. Outside of the operators that have breaching charges as their secondary gadget, like Thatcher, there's really only 2 choices, Buck and Sledge. Now, up until a few months ago, Buck was normally the go-to soft breacher. His skeleton key was as effective as Sledge's hammer, his C8 is a great weapon like the LOD, they both had frag grenades, they basically were the same operator, but Buck was able to do vertical destruction from below upwards, whereas Sledge can only do top-down vertical destruction. This ability for Buck to destroy upwards was what led a lot of players to pick him over Sledge, as it just allowed that bit more flexibility. But in the middle of Operation Void Edge, for whatever reason, Ubisoft decided to remove Buck's frag grenades. This skyrocketed Sledge's pick rate in both competitive and ranked, because while both Sledge and Buck's gadgets work pretty much the same, in the current meta those frag grenades are almost as valuable as the operator's destruction capabilities. So to wrap this up, your best in slot soft breacher is going to be Sledge because of the great vertical destruction capability, the frag grenades, and the 2 fantastic weapons in the LOD and the SMG-11. So that's 3 of our 5 operators covered. Now on to our flex and fragging ops. So the thing is with these 2, there is really no real best answer. As long as whatever operators you bring have a set of explosives, so Ash with her breaching rounds, Zofia with her lifelines, Nock with frag grenades, basically as long as you make sure you bring explosives to deal with the defender utility, you're golden. So for me, my number 4 pick is going to be Zofia. For me, Zofia is one of the more well-rounded fragging operators. She has a great primary weapon in the M762 that you can play with or without an ACOG depending on your playstyle. She has her lifeline launcher, which has 2 impact grenades that are super easy to use, as well as the 2 concussion grenades, which have a multitude of uses, from actually stunning the defenders when you're trying to push them, to just being able to check corners and clear rooms for information. All of this is great of course, but for me it's Zofia's breaching charges that just make her that bit better for the ranked experience. Her breaching charges essentially allow her to fulfill both her fragging role and become a pseudo soft breacher all at the same time. Finally, we've made it to our 5th and final operator of this video, and I'm gonna go controversial here. Iana. I think Iana, or Iana, however you pronounce it, is one of the more underrated operators in the game at the moment, and the best part is she ticks all of our boxes. She has great guns, the G36C and the ARX, she has frag grenades as her secondary gadget, and her main gadget or ability is actually very useful, as she basically has unlimited drones. You can gather a lot of information for yourself without needing to rely heavily on your teammates, so she's a perfect operator for ranked, because you don't need to heavily rely on your teammates to drone for you and gather info for you. Iana can also be used to play pretty aggressively. Because of the nature of her gadget, you can normally act pretty quickly off any information you find out. So that's pretty much it, the best general purpose lineup, top 5 operators for the attack. Ace, Thatcher, Sledge, Iana, and Zofia. If you disagree with me, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment down below. If you learned something and enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, feel free to dislike the video. If you haven't already, I do post new videos every week, so make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. As I mentioned earlier, I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Twitch, where I love talking to you guys and getting to know you all and answering as many questions about Siege as I can. As well, we also have an awesome Discord for you all to come hang out and chat and ask questions and get to know everyone in the community. Links for all of these, as always, are in the description down below. And as always, happy gaming.